Hi, it's Matt in the kitchen. I'm here with my pressure cooker, and today I'm going to be making one of my favorites, cabbage soup. So it's actually a beef and cabbage soup that I put together. And for this one, it's a pretty straightforward recipe. I'm going to start out with one minced onion. So for that, I did chop it up in my mini chopper. I do have a video on how I use this. Oops. And let's get all that in there. Again, using my silicone spatula that I love so much. I'm going to throw that in. Next thing I'm going to throw in is about 2 large or 3 medium-sized potatoes. I cut them to a little bit less than an inch, probably about 3/4 of an inch, half an inch. 2 stalks of celery, I just sliced that up. Meat, I'm using about a pound of beef. So you could use ground beef, you can use stewing beef, whatever you feel like. 1 large can of diced tomatoes. Really like the flavor that they bring in. And then a good 4-6 cups of shredded cabbage. I shred mine really coarse for this meal, as you can see. Just rinse that off in the salad spinner. This is getting quite full. It's about half a medium-sized head of cabbage, so quite a bit of food in there. For seasoning, I keep it really simple on this recipe. I'm just putting in about a teaspoon of ground pepper. That's actually green and red pepper because I prefer them to black pepper. And about a teaspoon of salt. And about a cup and a half or 2 cups, I'm going to use about 2 cups of beef stock. If you're trying to make it gluten-free, watch your beef stock, watch your bouillon cubes. They tend to have wheat in them, which is gluten, obviously. This is actually just from a beef roast that I did recently. So just take the drippings from that, about 2 cups of that. And then it will boil down a little bit. Bay leaves. For bay leaves, you're going to want to take them out. So always try to use nice big ones that you can find. So big one, big one. Some people say use 1 or 2. I don't believe in that. Use 3, 4, 5. Use half a dozen. Use lots of them. Just remember how many you put in so you can find them. But get all that flavor in there. This one, that's about the smallest I'd go to. Little pieces like this, they're difficult to find. Don't use them. Bay leaves are cheap. Just get a lot of them. So there we go. Now, for this one, because of the meat being chopped up so nicely, I'm only going to need about 15 minutes. So here we go. We'll have our 15 minutes. We'll be back soon with our cabbage soup. Okay, it's just finished cooking. Let's open it up. Now, like I said, first thing, pull off your bay leaves. So I'm just going to pull up the bay leaves that I threw in. Whew, hot. Get those out of there. And I'm not a fan of very light stew, so this one, this one is full right to the brim with cabbage. I'm just going to stir it around a little bit and smell a lot of the flavor, all the pepper and everything else in there. I'm going to move it around. Maybe you can see that a little bit better. And it came together really nicely. And then although I used ground beef, it did cook together in little cubes, so that'll be quite nice, a nice texture to have in that. So I'm just going to get this all together. Take a nice scoop of this. Really nice hearty soup. So there we go. That's what it looks like. A lot of cabbage. You can see the broth is nice and thick. Nice dark color. Oh, and it's just great. Potatoes cooked up. They're cooked, but they're not overcooked or mushy. Just a beautiful meal. Not too heavy on the salt or the pepper. It's pretty much exactly the way I like. Things that you could add to this if you wanted. You could add a little bit of red pepper to it. A little bit of cayenne, something a little bit spicier, a little bit more pepper. Don't overdo it, but right there, the way I made it today, it makes a really good base to tweak to your own liking. So I hope you found it enjoyable. I hope you get a chance to try this stew. It's a really easy, quick meal to make. If you like it, give a thumbs up on the video, so let me know that you like it. Any questions, go ahead, leave comments, and check out some of my other videos or subscribe to the channel. See what other things I have out there for you. So I hope you enjoy your pressure cooker. That's all for now. Good night.